Up, everybody, and welcome once again. You have just tuned in to Real Laughs on Real Radio 104.1. I am your host tonight, your favorite DEI hire. That is right. This is James Young. We are your nightcap of comedy. We give you what you need. If you're on your way to work, give you a couple chuckles before you got to work your shift. If you're on your way home, we're going to give you some laughs before you have to go face that wife or that husband or those kids that may or may not be yours. As always, I am joined in virtual studio with some really good friends of mine, fellow comedians. First off, the man with a million nicknames. Now, some of the best ones he's ever had was Cuter Than James, The South Got Something to Say, North Carolina, We Cousins, but now he is 80% approval rating. That's a great rating. Y'all know him as the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Ken Miller, the godfather of Orlando comedy. Brother, what's going on with your rating today?
Hey, bro, I'm hanging out with some comics last night, getting drunk, smoking cigars, because you know I'm an alcoholic and my life terrible.
That's what it is. Okay.
I was like, yo, so what's my approval rating as Godfather? And they was like 80%. I said, I'll take it.
That's a good one. That's
I
a
said,
good
I'll take it.
percent.
I said, well, what's the 20%? What's bad about 20%? They're like, man, you don't even want to know.
Hey, kid, too many N words.
Hey, too many N words.
10% too many N words, 10% not enough. You know?
That voice you're hearing is the man who helped start all this hilarity over 9 years ago. I am talking about Miguel Colon. Don't you forget about the junior because he knows who his daddy is. What's going on, Miguel? Miguel?
What's up, man? Hey, we were talking during the break about how you could pretty much make anything a racial slur if you put enough hate behind it.
Mm-hmm.
And I was thinking about it, like, because Ken was talking about the N-word as usual, and I was thinking about it though. I was like, you could. It's just about the emphasis. Like if I said, "Hey, look at them damn cinnamon twists over there," you would instantly be like, "Don't call that gay Mexican dude that." You know, like he was
that would be a churro. That would be something completely different. Yeah.
See, and if he's dating a black dude, it's a chocolate stuffed churro.
Yeah.
You know? But see, it's not about the word, it's about the hate behind it. And that's happened. Everybody here knows somebody says something to them they didn't understand, then later on they find out it's not a bad thing. But you just like, hey, what you mean I'm poignant, dog? You better watch your mouth, player. I ain't no poking needle. You know?
Hey, Miguel, walk up here about all these husbands in here.
Yeah, right.
Hey, with that hard H. You know?
Yuck.
Oh, we got some very special guests joining us today. I'm very excited to have them on. First off, I've never got to actually have a conversation with this young lady, but I watch her online, and she, to me, is what a kitten would be if it was personified. I'm talking about the one, the only, Roo Nafasat. What's going on, Roo?
What's up, my husband?
Where are my husbands at?
Roo,
white people be doing it like this. Husbands do it like this.
Husbands be breaking.
Okay, it's gonna be that kind of show. That's what we're on today.
Yeah. I feel a little silly. I don't know. I'm feeling kind of like unhinged lately.
You should be that. You should do that. Go with that, man.
Unhinged.
Yeah. Our other guest, I told you guys all about her show that she did at Fringe, where she would actually take the material of a comedian and then she would psychoanalyze us and tell us that we are not okay. That's
I'm
right.
out. I'm out.
I've been taking notes. I've been taking so many notes, y'all.
Miss Amy LeCours is with us as well. Welcome, Amy. How you doing, Mama?
Thank you. I'm feeling very poignant right now. Thank you.
Hey, that's our word.
That's how we
Wow.
Hey, wow. Really just gonna say that where I'm standing right here?
I know. I'm gonna not say much tonight. I just feel like I'm gonna get in trouble. I love me. I'm so happy. I love you all. You're perfect, and I'm very happy to be here.
That's not how I want to be psychoanalyzed either. I just said for an hour and a half for you to lie to me. You're not a hooker. You know?
I'm dangerously supportive, so like you're gonna probably be on drugs and a crap top, and you're gonna love it. You're gonna be feeling so good.
Now, the funny part about your show, we talked about everything from me growing up, my kids, my marriage. What I forgot to tell you was that my mom shot my father. Like, I don't know why.
Hiding that trauma, huh?
It's what
it didn't come up. Why didn't it come up, James? That was kind of a big deal for you to talk about, but it just didn't feel like it.
But let me ask you, Was it really?
Yeah.
Like, was
Amy, let me let you know that was the same year Super Mario 3 came out, so there were bigger things going on
Yeah.
in Jan's
You
life.
had to be a raccoon. Wait, no, wait.
Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute.
Raccoon.
Whoa,
gotta
that's
go.
there. You can't call them that.
Oh!
I gotta go. I gotta
You
go.
can't call them raccoons.
I'm gonna lose my mental health
Amy,
license immediately.
It's okay.
Hey,
Amy, it's okay. We're on Real Radio. 50% of our audience is like, finally. Oh, I've been waiting to call James a raccoon. Leave out the rack.
Hey, Ken,
You know?
this episode.
Mario
This
3.
episode, Ken.
One.
This the one. And that's actually called a taki, isn't it? Not an actual raccoon.
It's a tanuki, right?
Yeah, something like
Tanuki?
that.
I don't know what it is.
I
You
don't
know them
know.
raccoons with they loud music.
Wait. Hold on. It's called a tahu.
It's
Tanuki suit. That's when he becomes the full raccoon.
You
Yeah.
talking about that thing? Ain't that what Lil Wayne called himself? Lil Tanuki?
Young Weezy, it's Tanuki. Mario. I said, Mario, a Luigi
Hey.
in the hole.
Y'all heard them Haitians was eating all the tanukis, right? Y'all heard
Hey,
that?
man, you know they know. Hey, but this is the problem, man. White people talk bad about Haitians eating tanuki now. I see how it works. 15 years from now, they're going to be a white food truck with, you got to try the tanuki. It's amazing.
On a bow.
That's how they
It's gonna be
did
a
us
bow.
with oxtails and bone marrow.
A bow bun, yeah.
Yeah.
Little coleslaw. It's all gonna be a slaw. There's gonna be a chutney and a slaw.
I can't wait till the Jordanian dude with the hot dog starts selling it.
Oh,
Hey,
dog, he is already. It's a
Yeah.
hot dog.
Hey, I saw a white dude on social media doing oxtails. I said, yeah, I'm done.
It's out. It's
I
done.
was like, God, come on, take this. Come
Go
on.
ahead.
No,
We
no,
ready.
it's-
Be over with. Come
I
take
went
it.
to, I went
fusion.
to, I went
It's a
to
fusion.
Wild Fork. Yeah, I went to Wild
Is the
Fork and they're
fusion the
selling
person
bone
making?
marrow for like $25, and I'm like,
Bone marrow?
bone marrow used to be what we had
Cheap.
because we had it. My
Yeah.
mom used to throw spices in. Now I'm like $25. So get ready for $50 tanuki bows. $50 tanuki bows with a side of raccoon sauce.
There you go. And before we go any further, I got to mention our official sponsor of Real Laughs. I am talking about the law
Jordanian hot
offices
dogs.
of yes, pretty much. And the other sponsor, Kaufman and Lynn, your personal injury lawyers of Orlando. They've been representing and winning for the good people for 20 years now. And don't forget, Mr. Jeff Kaufman is in the Guinness Book of World Records because he can actually practice law in over 18 states, the most of any lawyer in the world. So
Wow.
shout out to him. Thank you. Now we have you wonderful ladies here with us today because you guys are going to be putting on a show at Fringe. First off, congratulations getting in. Round of applause. Yes.
That's for Roo. It's Roo's one-woman show. We are so proud of Roo. She's
We-
been making this for how long, Roo?
James, you called me a kitten earlier.
Not in the creepy way. Like, I want to
I'm gonna take it in the creepy way.
I hear
Okay.
Michelle coming upstairs right now.
like now, yeah. Like,
Meow.
Yeah. No, but I've been like making all these characters. I go up on stage as a bunch of different animals, so
I saw that.
I've compiled a lot of them into my ultimate Fringe show called Roo's Menagerie, where I'll be coming in. It's going to be as if you're going through like the Disney Safari, but like a lot more lower budget and a lot more balls scratching.
nice. That's everything
Yeah.
I wanted in a Disney show.
Yeah, and so it'll be at 1010 Brewing at the end of May, and for like from May 16th to the 25th. There's 4 showings, and they're all on the weekends. So
Very,
Let
very
me ask,
nice.
Rue, like, what's one of the? I don't want you to give the whole show up, but give them a tease. You don't have to act out, but tell me about one of these animals in Rue's menagerie.
Please tell me it's a Tanucci.
There's got to be
No,
a Tanucci,
no
young
way.
Tanucci, baby. I kissed Birdman on the mouth.
no, I wish we did this podcast earlier so I could have written him in earlier.
There you
But
go.
I think you guys will relate to this guy the most. I have a lemur. He's going through a divorce right now.
True. Mhm.
He's got a lot of conspiracy theories in his back pocket. His name's Zeke.
Mm.
And I
Oh,
will look
I know
crazy.
this lemur.
Yeah.
Yeah. You fucked
This,
this lemur.
this
at the
lemur
bar.
with the conspiracy theories.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can tell you right now, a conspiracy theorist lemur also is always like, well, first let's see that body cam footage. You know, hey, I know he was 12 and he's reaching for his seatbelt, but let me see first.
It's very close.
It's the same thing I was telling the boys on January 6th. And they just, They get.
You got
I'm
it.
telling you, man, them poignants.
Them poignants.
How'd you get my script, Miguel?
Oh my God.
Hey man, first of all, how you think we can relate? Me and James happily married.
We are, yeah. First
Yeah.
off,
Because lemurs are sort of monkey creatures. See where she went with this?
It's like a middle-aged man. That's why.
Oh, okay. All right, I take that.
well, let
No,
me
man,
ask,
that's what I assume you're talking to a Corona all the time.
yeah. Well, let me ask you this, Roo, because we always want to know this when we get comedians on the show. Tell us how you got started doing comedy, and tell us how long you've been doing it, and what was it like your first time on stage?
Oh my gosh, it is kind of an egomaniac little moment, but I think I've always wanted to do comedy. I just didn't grow up in a household that was like super into the arts at all. So
all.
I got a science degree instead because I didn't want to be a bad kid.
Gotcha.
This just in. Someone named Roo Nafasat grew up in a household that supported more science than arts. Kyle, can we go live to the scene? This sounds ridiculous. This sounds ridiculous.
No, they wanted me to like have a stable job or something. It's crazy.
Yeah.
But
While they
And
made
this
you practice
comedy will be
piano.
engineering based.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God bless you.
Ugh.
So, what made you say
Now, Roo,
I
did
want
your
to do
arranged
something?
husband want you to be a scientist?
Oh wow.
Wow.
no, he wanted me to be unemployed.
Yeah.
I'm
honestly.
pregnant.
So I can
Duh.
watch the kids for your information.
Thank you very much.
Oh my gosh. So you were like, I want to do something in the arts, so I want to do comedy. Now, how long you been doing comedy?
I have to say it's coming up around like 4 years, like officially of doing stand up.
Okay. And what was it like that first time you actually got on stage and performed stand up?
Oh gosh, it was exhilarating. It was just something about like being able to get up there. And this was it was just at like a random open mic. There was like 3 people that were all comics, but just something about getting up there, just talking all you want to talk, and people listening to you. It's a novel concept for a woman, all right?
Well, did you write anything down, or you went up there just like off the top of your dome? Did you have any material?
I did write stuff down. I wrote stuff down. There was a couple of moments where I was trying to like relate to the crowd, but at that level, you don't really have anything to work off of. And I didn't make it to 5 minutes at all. I made it to maybe about 3, but it felt good. And I planted my friends. I did the thing. I brought my friends to my first open mic.
Okay. Gotcha. It's weird that you say that because I always tell my wife that, like, look, it felt like 5 minutes, but I'm good with 3. Like, that's I'm not trying to shoot for the moon. Hey, man, you know what it is, man.
I tell her straight up, hey, this is a compliment. This is a compliment that it went so fast.
You're welcome.
Yeah, you should be real happy.
All right.
You know the rules. Don't look at me.
What?
You're so scary, Miguel.
My wife's gonna kill me.
Oh, don't yuck my yum. Don't do that.
Hey, Miguel, that thing got bone marrow in it.
Yeah, man.
On a bow.
Girl,
On a bow?
Yeah.
you got that Tanoosh, girl.
Give me that Tanushi, girl. Turn me to stone.
Not the Tanushi.
Got that Mario star.
That is what it's like. Okay, y'all, we'll be right back. This segment's been brought to you by Cialis. We'll be right back. We got more with Real Lads on Real Radio 104.1. Don't go anywhere, guys. We'll be right back with Roo and Amy. Back, everybody, and you are still rocking with Real Lads on Real Radio 104.1. I'm still your host, Mr. James John, joining virtual studio with Mr. Ken Miller, aka 80% approval rating, doing great out there in the streets, and Miguel Colon. Don't you forget about the junior, because he knows who his daddy is. We got very special guests on with us. They're talking about the new Fringe Fringe show.
That's how you
Roo
say it in that
Nafasat
community.
and Amy LeCours, if you will. Now, we were just talking about how you got started doing comedy, Roo. I got to ask you, I know your parents were not exactly thrilled when you said you would start doing comedy. How do they feel 4 years later, now that you're doing comedy?
Do they know? They don't know yet, do
They don't know. Oh, it's a secret.
They do know, but they don't want to talk about it.
Dang.
It's like when a guy does Fringe and his dad's like, Okay, it's fine. just make sure your boyfriend's a good man. You know?
Make sure they have their clothes on at the show. Make sure there's no
Yeah.
weens at the show.
Yeah.
When your daddy catches you rollerblading, he's like, we're not going to talk about it. We're not going to talk about it.
The shorts. We're not talking about the shorts.
I love you no matter what, son. I love you no matter what, son.
I remember when I
Daddy
wore
just
my
needs to
first
sit in the
crop
truck.
top.
Yeah. Daddy just needs to sit in the truck and drink for a little bit. That's all.
it. That's it. That's it. Oh, that's funny as hell. So, have they seen you ever perform live?
So my siblings have. My mom doesn't want to approach the topic, and I don't talk to my dad, but he really wants to go to one of my shows. So
Oh, he
whenever that
does?
happens, yeah, he like texted my brother about it. I was like, when are we gonna see one of her shows when she's in Chicago? And I don't know how I'll feel about it because I haven't really spoken to him in a while.
I would love for you to actually
Amy, you
have
want
your
to hop
dad
on
come
that
out.
real quick?
Yeah.
We've talked about it. We've talked about
Yeah.
the disorder she has from it. We've talked about why she feels the way, the love that she needs, the holes that she needs filled through comedy. We've talked about it all. Yeah.
Okay. And speaking of that, that's a great transition, Amy, for us to talk to you because not only do you stand up comedy, but also you do what?
I am a mental health therapist, a licensed therapist in Florida. And then, yeah, I have a show called Psych where I have the stand-ups come up. They do their time, they do a bit, and then I diagnose them on stage.
Now, do comics ever try to get like free help? Like, hey, listen,
Always.
always got it, got it. And by comics, I mean,
Hey, for this
James.
joke, I'm going to put a gun in my mouth.
Always.
Amy!
Always.
Amy!
Always. Oh my God. When I first started, there was a guy in the scene that was pretty suicidal. And I remember messaging Ken. I was like, hey, Ken, do you need my help? You remember that, Ken? It was like a bullet, but yeah. And because I am a mandated reporter. So if any of you say that you're going to hurt yourself or anybody else, I do have
Oh, you
to.
a snitch ass.
I
huh?
am a snitch.
Oh, snitch ass.
My husband hates it.
Oh.
My husband hates that.
Oh,
Yes,
I
I
gotta
am a
call the
snitch.
cops because I'm gonna tell you, Amy. Hey, if somebody told me I'm gonna hurt myself, I'm like, show me where you did it before. You ain't about it. You ain't about this life, player.
I can admit you right now, Miguel. Like I have the paperwork. I can get you admitted right now.
3
I'm
days
not
off
threatening
work,
you.
some Xanax, some new robes,
Some
ping
Xannies?
pong.
Some
Yeah,
Xannies?
this is vacation.
Some Xannies?
I can't prescribe any medicine. I can't get you any drugs, though. I'm not the fun kind. I know. I'm sorry.
Oh,
I'm
man.
sorry. I know. I'm a snitch and I don't have any drugs. but I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Oh,
Oh, the
Yeah.
worst kind.
Yeah.
you have all their weaknesses, but none of their power. Like,
Yeah, man.
I gotta go.
Let me ask you, Amy. I actually had a great time on that show, by the way. And I
Thanks
want
for
to ask
being
you.
there.
Nah, you're so welcome. How did you get started doing comedy? How long has it been, and what was your first time on stage like for you?
I started probably about 7 years ago, like 2019 or so. I started later in life because I went to college and I was always like, I thought you had to like go to New York or LA. I didn't know you could go to like an open mic and like, I didn't know about that. So,
Oh yeah, yeah.
I had no idea. And so my first time on stage was at the Bull and Bush, Tim Murphy's open mic on Wednesday when it was Poop Soup. And it was terrifying and scary. And I didn't want to go up. He forced me to go up. And I talked about mermaid buttholes for like 3 minutes.
You stealing my material?
You have it too?
This mother, this Mickey Picky out here.
And Tim had material. I didn't realize. I didn't know about hacky material. I didn't know that everybody already talked about mermaids with no buttholes and like the mermaid beauty standards. I don't know. I got really drunk. I drank a lot of wine. I remember bits and pieces because I was so nervous. And it was bad. It was real bad, and I wanted to die.
I like how this whole time you're talking, I can tell. Let's get back to me.
We got to Ken.
We got to report to Amy.
We got to report that. You're right.
We got to
I
report
got it.
that.
8 years ago, 7 years ago.
Oh, Amy out here trying to die.
Time travel. Let's do it.
Amy, I'm gonna talk you down. This is you called the line. Hey, this is Miguel. Amy, before you do anything rash to yourself, do you have possessions? If so, give them to me. I'm gonna be here.
You got it.
You know, like,
Yes.
oh, you ain't willing to give up all your stuff? You ain't gonna do it.
You're
You
so right.
just all talk.
Miguel,
aren't
you know, that
you?
would really work for a lot of people. There are a lot, because a lot of people don't like niceness when they're sad or mad. I think you'd be a pretty good therapist,
I
actually.
would,
There's some
man. I would.
people that
I'd
would
be like,
love that.
hey,
They're like,
man.
yeah, you're right. You're absolutely
Miguel,
right.
Tell her about the advice you gave my children about my career. Whenever you see my four children.
I used to be James Young's. I used to be one of the people who opened for James Young. So for years, I went on the road with James Young. So we're talking like 10, 11 years ago.
Yes.
His sons 10, 11 years ago were probably what, James? 9 to like 9 to like 12, 9 to 13 or
9
something
to
like
15.
that.
Yeah,
9 to 15. So they were young boys. Before we would go on the road to go on a long run or a weekend run, or we'd be gone for like a week, I would gather his sons together and let them know. And James said I would.
He would.
That if it wasn't for them holding their daddy back, me and their dad would be stars. And I would tell them to their faces that me and their daddy had the potential to conquer this world.
It's true.
But no, he had to come back and love them. And I would let them know.
Holding us all back. I got a kid. I know.
Every time they ate a meal, every time they smiled, it was at the cost of my success.
And my kids love him till this day. They love Miguel.
They need to know. Those kids need to know what you're giving up for them. It's true. Mm-hmm.
Everybody else was lying.
Yeah,
I was like, listen,
honesty.
man. I was like, listen. When James's son was transitioning, I was like, you're making it all about you. It's me and your daddy.
Oh my God.
Okay? Okay? I get it. This is oh my God, a big deal. Sure, but your big deal? You're going to get over it. The world's going to understand. Me and your daddy are going to lose momentum. We're losing momentum, Jack.
And then you miss those good
damn
years.
It. It's always about you kids.
And then you don't have the energy anymore.
No,
I know.
I love my kids.
I know. I love my kid too, but I feel
that's the goddamn problem.
I know.
Be more like Roo. Abandon everything. You know?
Yeah, I'd be a terrible father.
Roo's dad wants to get back in her life, and she's like, I don't have time to give comp tickets. You know?
That's why I support Roo. I'm living through Roo. I'm riding Roo's coattails because she's gonna be the star. That's exactly what
now
it is.
you want in? You see all this lemur money coming in, and now you want in. You could chori your ass out of here.
Not the lemur, not the lemur money, kid.
Yeah.
Man, hey, real talk, Roo. Me and you got some stuff in common because my daddy was the same way. Now these two dudes love my father.
We do.
Hey, Miguel don't take no chick McAdoo slander.
No, he don't.
No chick McAdoo slander.
No,
my man's an airborne vet.
Yes,
you know he liked the little of the hair on. It was the 70s. Okay, that was GMO free skag back then.
That heroin ain't had no bone marrow in it, bro.
No, man. Nope. That was straight to Nookie.
Yep. Hey, he's like that. Ooh, that's genuine Tanuki. That is.
But hey, Roo, I'm gonna tell you this, man. My father was always proud of me. Yeah, I don't care what I did. I said the bench in high school. My father came to senior night. The only game I ever started was like, that's my son, the best player out there. They was like, sir, you can't have a 40 ounce in the gym. What Kente. That's my son Kente. They're like, who is Kente? I'm like, y'all, that's my middle name. That's my father. Yeah. I'll tell you, he can't be my dad. Like, boy, you don't get on that court.
Hey, give him 10 minutes. He gonna be asleep.
Yeah.
That's Chick McAdoo, bro.
Hey, asleep and still standing up. Only Haran can do that, bro.
He's still there.
Point two, though.
He's still there.
You know, there's two girls. I'll tell you this, ladies. My father loves Ken.
He does.
Like, my father asked about Ken. I walk in the door. He's like, how's the Godfather doing? I'm like, I'm here. Okay?
I'm your flesh.
I'm here.
Yeah, he does. He loves Ken. He
We're
absolutely
going to
does.
work through your father stuff. First of all, your father, rupee miner or engineer? What
just you wait. He was a cabbie in the 90s.
Oh, keeping it real.
Tell your dad, first of all,
School.
He was a cabbie in Chicago in the 90s?
Yeah.
Okay, so he made $1 million a year.
Yeah.
So where was it, Miguel?
He didn't want to, he's not going to give it to any of my daughter who's dreaming about lemurs and stuff.
Cats being a kitty cat in the street.
Oh my
Why can't she be like her cousin Sanjay? You know?
Please tell me you got a cousin named Sanjay.
No, man, that's the wrong side of the family.
Sanjay.
Now,
that's
Roo, I'll tell you
hilarious.
this though. And let me ask you about this too, Amy. We're talking about families and pride on it and stuff like that. I bet your siblings, like you said, well, you said they were happy. They came to your shows and things like that.
Roo,
Were you at all? Roo, were you nervous for them to come to your shows? And the same thing, Amy, when your family and people you loved were coming to your shows, were you nervous?
Good question.
At all?
I think maybe at first I was nervous, but I think to my siblings it's the first cool thing I've ever done in my life, and so they were really supportive of it. I was the oldest in my family, so they're like,
Oh
"Oh,
wow,
this
okay.
You're the
responsibility person
y-
is fun."
yeah, yeah. You're the rebel now, though. Like, look at her.
Yeah, I
Out
was
there
about to
doing
say.
comedy. Oh my gosh, this is crazy.
Now,
So,
Amy, you're coming from the professional world. You're batting
Mhm.
50-50 on suicides. Not too bad.
Not too bad. I'm still here. Still here.
Man.
oh my
And say that's 500, baby. That ain't bad at all.
Not bad.
Win
that's
some, lose some.
wild.
You
That
know,
is
and then
wild.
Amy, even the ones who did it, they were gonna do it anyway.
Great.
They were gonna do it anyway. They were gonna wait for another person. They
Good
called
Lord.
tomorrow. But
Uh,
how was it explaining to like your professional circle what you were doing?
Yeah, that's why I do psych. That's why I do the psych comedy show, because it really melds the two worlds. Because, when I go up
True.
on stage, a lot of times it's hard for me to be myself because I'm so used to being a therapist. And as a therapist, you're always holding everything like close to your chest and you can't tell people how you feel. So that's why I do love having both worlds together. I can truly be myself up there and be silly and be fun. And then nobody in my family's seen me do stand up because my dad and my mom, they all moved away. And then, my brother saw the psych show. I did the psych show in New York at Caveat, and it was awesome. And him and his wife came, and it was pretty cool because he's really, I don't know, he's not excited about much. He's like a goth kid and like kind of like emo goth, and like never.
They're not allowed to be excited. Yeah, that's not what they do. They're like,
He's
Wait a second.
older.
How
Yeah,
many
he's-
times has he called you the suicide line?
Hey,
Ames.
That's why I became a therapist. Actually, honestly, 100%. That's why I became a therapist.
Was gonna
real
do
talk.
it, but then the new Cure song came on.
No,
God.
no, it's so true. Oh my god, it's so crazy. And literally, that's why I became a therapist.
love
My brother tried to
you.
kill himself.
oh my god.
I
It's
swear.
all right, man. He didn't. And then how do you? And it's hard to deal with that too, because they're in the worst place that they could be in their life. I've never. I tell people all the time when it comes to something like that, I have never in my life felt that lonely or scared.
Me either.
And my heart breaks for people who have, because
Mhm.
somehow in my life I've been lucky enough to always have a feeling that there's a reason.
Yeah,
Like, and I mean,
right.
that's
Yeah.
not anything I did. I was just lucky enough to always have that feeling. But for your brother to probably feel like the lowest of low and then try to kill himself and then fail, ugh, like,
Jesus Christ.
buddy, this ain't your day. You know?
And really quick, but people I think don't understand unless you've dealt with depression or had a close one, a loved one deal with it. It's not about all the good things in your life. That's not how it works. It's
Oh,
something
yeah.
different. It's not
Mhm.
that they're like, yeah, but you're good looking, you make good money. That's not how depression works.
Hey,
It's
Chill
for
out, Jay,
real.
chill out,
Hey,
Jay. Say some
that's
more, though.
100% fact, bro. I got a whole dead ass son, so I get it.
Yeah.
God,
totally
yeah,
understand.
yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes.
You lucky the ashes are up here, bro.
Because oh my God, no, here we go, here we go.
Oh, Ken, you're amazing.
Hey,
You're
Ken,
Yes.
you gotta mix
Yes.
them up, make a hybrid.
Oh
It's
my God.
Ricky May.
Oh my gosh.
Hey, I put Ruthie and Kenny together, and my mama gonna beat the hell out of
Okay,
them.
before we go to break, show her what you're talking about because she don't know what you're talking about.
They not up here no more. I had to take them downstairs.
Okay, Ken has his ashes of his mother in a little
Yes,
house,
and my son
and
now.
his son, and they are our official 5th and 6th member of Real
love
Labs.
that.
So
Mhm.
yeah, so that's
I
And
how
we
it
can
happens.
conjure him if we need to. I'm
That's
like,
so
Ruthie
cute.
May.
I love that.
Yes. So
Yeah, you
on
gotta
that
have candles.
so on that note, we'll be right back with more hilarity on Real Labs, Real Radio 104.1. You're still listening to Real Laughs on Real Radio 104.1. I want to remind you guys real quick, if you are not already following us on social media, I need you to do that right now. I need you to go to Instagram. I need you to go to Facebook, Real Laughs, follow us. Then I want you to go over to YouTube. I need you to subscribe, like, and comment. Share this hilarity so we can keep it going for another 9 years. Now, I'm joined in studio, of course, with Mr. Ken Miller, aka 80% approval rating. Salute to him. And also Miguel Colon. Don't forget about the junior because he knows who his dad is. We have very special guests on with us. We have Roo Nafasat and we have Amy LeCours in the building with us. We're talking about Roo, her show coming up at Fringe. And give us the title of that one more time, Roo.
Roo's Menagerie.
Menagerie. I love that. That sounds so exotic and mystical, if you will. Now, Amy, we're
Mhm.
talking about the fact that you are a therapist and you do a show called Psych, where you
Mhm.
have comedians perform and then you psychoanalyze them and say, okay, you might need to work on some things in your life. Now, Miguel had a great question. He said, have you ever done this show Psych? Because you traveled with it, you've gone to
Right.
other states. Have you ever gotten to a point when someone's performing and you're like, ooh, that is a red flag? I
Every
might.
time.
Every time, really?
Every time.
Hey,
Like,
what did you think
oh.
about James after James did it? How did you diagnose James?
I gave James. See, I think James was so polished and professional. I want to do a longer show with James
Mhm.
because we did a psych show together. Or it was the Psych Fringe show, and we had to do it real fast, so I couldn't get
Yes.
real deep. So I wasn't in there. I wasn't like in the pocket with, and it was the first night.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I want to see James whoop one of his kids. I'm like, there it is. There's the curse. There's the curse. You're not better than us, James. 'Cause I watched James and his family. He's been with his wife 23 years.
But
He
yeah,
has
and it
4
got to be the
beautiful
last
sons.
kid. It got to be the last kid because the last kid wasn't supposed to be here. That was the one. That was the one. James thought he was fixed up. James thought he was.
Uh-oh, we got a double accent.
Amy.
Yeah.
Okay, Rue, let me tell you guys what happened. We had 3 kids. We had them each a year apart. We had a kid every single year for 3 years straight.
wow, God bless
So-
your
so
wife. I love her.
I love her
God.
too. I'm going on record. I love her too.
Yeah.
Now we decided that I was
Pull
going to get
out, brother.
no, brother. No, I'm like the U.S. when it comes to war. I'm staying in.
Stay in. Take all the guns, Taliban.
So I went to go get a vasectomy, and I did go get a vasectomy. But we found out on the day I got my vasectomy, my wife was 2 weeks pregnant already.
No.
Yes, that's why my son has a biblical name. His name is Isaiah, because he God wanted him to be here.
That's it.
But God knows I tried to take him out a few times.
Yeah.
But
You
yeah,
know,
I
the
love him.
doctor,
I
the
love
doctor
him.
was like, look, man, we can't do a vasectomy, but you know this is that kind of clinic, right, y'all? You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, all I'm saying, player, is you wash your hands of it, man. Ain't nobody got to know it was you. Ain't nobody got to know you put the hit out. Ain't nobody got to know. We still
Hey.
liberal Florida. This is the early 2000s.
Yeah, it was. It was liberal. It was definitely bluish at that point. Yeah.
Nowadays, you got to send a lemur in there to do the job for you. Get it.
Hey, brother,
Go up
got
in there.
respect.
There's gates in there.
open up, baby.
I hit some gates up there. You know?
Okay.
There's a
funny.
lever really long. Okay, I'll stop.
But Amy, what do you do? Like, first off, mentally, what do you say to yourself when you see something happening? Like, ooh, I should probably tell him he's going, her or him are going to have to work on that, or that
You
could
lean
become a
in.
problem.
You lean in. Just like you would in therapy. When you see a red flag, when you see anything, like you lean in and you just have them be a mirror of themselves. You say, "Tell me more. Why do you feel that way? How do you feel that way?" And almost every comedian that's come on has been like, "Oh, I'm not gonna like tell you about my business," and then people are crying or
Spill
people
it.
are yelling or
Yep.
you know. And again, like ours was a little different because it was so quick. But when I'm able to really get in there and spend some time, I haven't been able to release any content because nobody wants that content actually out there about their dads or their moms. So that's not the hardest part about the show is like it gets real personal. That I'll be like, "Oh, can I put this out?" And they're like, "No, please don't tell anybody I said that."
Amy,
I'm like,
I'll go on record right now.
I was gonna
put
say.
the Real Laughs crew on there.
Yes, I was going to say
I'll
that.
Done.
put it on the streets. I got a
Yes.
sex tape out there.
Done. Let's go. Let's book it. Let's
The
book it.
weird
Yes.
thing is, I was also in that same sex tape. So yes,
Yeah.
it does exist. Yes.
It was one. Hey, in the middle of the orgy, I was like, James and Michelle. Hey, I said, how the kids? God bless, man. Small world.
Taste the bone marrow. Let's go.
I was holding the boom mic.
Yeah. I said, I'm gonna call Ken real quick. I started calling. I heard ringing in the room. I said, hey, where you at, player?
I'm holding the
Man.
mic, playboy.
I said, y'all want to go to Cracker Barrel or something after this? I'm exhausted.
Here's what I would tell you guys. We are very open. I've noticed that about us, especially when we're on radio. We are open.
Oh, yeah.
We are very wide open. So it would have a real laugh show. We
Done.
will tell
Let's
you
do it.
everything.
I'll book it. Let's
I
go.
will tell you
Everything.
this.
Hey,
and
I'm not doing that.
I know Ken ain't doing it.
I'm not doing that.
Can you
I'll
not
go-
doing it?
No.
I'll go
Okay.
on record and tell you guys this. I think I'm very open but I know it's also because nobody's ever asked me a question that I didn't think I had an answer for. You know what I'm
There you
saying?
go. There you go.
I think
Yeah.
if you hit me with something like if you're like, Miguel, tell me about your childhood. I love my father. We had some problems because of this. Tell me about your mother. My mother great. And then you just hit me with something like, hey man, so why you scared to get married? Shut up, bitch! Shut your bitch mouth up now! I don't need none of this. I am a god, and you are children.
People love me. I love my son. Yeah.
Yeah,
And that's what it
yeah.
is. And like, you don't know what you're gonna say up there. It's just like therapy. But you know, that's
It
the thing.
is.
I'm not there to like get anybody, make them feel bad. But I truly, that's how I started the show. I would go to open mics and be like, why did that guy talk about his wiener so much? You know, I want to know, and I'm gonna ask. And a lot of times people will just kind of like, melt down. But it's fun and it's weird and the crowd gets to ask questions too, which is really fun.
I got a question for that though, real quick.
Yeah.
I always thought, as an old comic, I always thought younger comics talked about their wiener a lot because that's all they know is D jokes.
Yeah.
Well, I say they're stuck in the phallic stage. Basically, they're still talking about like they're still.
Hey, you get real lippy. I'm gonna be real with you. A man was just talking, and you interrupted with talking about phallics. Then I got this.
And
you know what's
I
up.
don't even know I don't know what phallic is. That's why I'm
It's a
offended.
winner. It's a winner.
Yeah, I'm offended. I'm
It's
offended.
a racial slur.
I believe it, man.
Finally
You know
got
they
me.
called
You
them, they
got-
called them people phallics, and I'm like, hey, they can love whoever they want. Don't I live in Thornton Park. Don't use that word.
That's funny. That's funny. Oh my
I got a couple
God.
phallics live right across me. They're great fellas.
You
Great
probably
fellas,
do.
okay?
Wieners.
But I'm serious. When you're a comic and you're taught comedy or people give me advice, they always say younger comics just do fart jokes and penis jokes because they just don't have anything to talk about.
Yeah.
They're 21 years old. They can't talk about relationship. They ain't been in a good one yet.
No experience yet. Yeah.
What about the 40-year-old ones that are still talking about it though? Right?
Ooh.
Like,
If you're a
terrible
40-year-old
comic.
if you're a 40-year-old new comic, you haven't been in a good relationship either.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
You turn into a lemur instead.
Yeah. I don't know what noises lemurs make. Somebody here, out of all the horrible things I've said all night, somebody probably got offended. Like, that's not what a lemur sounds like.
Hey,
An idiot.
anytime I meet a 45, 50-year-old that's just starting out in comedy, I'll be
yeah.
like, hey, man,
What
what
went
you
wrong?
going through?
Yeah. Yeah.
What you
What?
going through, dog?
Divorce, probably.
She didn't love you anyway. You know? Don't
Yeah.
worry. You didn't need half of that stuff.
Yeah.
You know?
Nah,
Just live it up.
you ain't need half that stuff. That's funny.
Hey, Amy, I got one for you though. So I think when it comes to mental health, more female comics talk about mental health than male comics. But I also think a lot of female comics lean into mental health the way some male comics lead into penis stuff. Because I would say, and this is the truth, if you pay attention to even some of the biggest female comics and some of the new most times I hear mental health being talked about, it is female comics, but I also don't always hear it being talked about in the most original or sort of like poignant ways.
Okay. All right. We're doing that. We're doing that.
And that
Okay,
might be something I'm stereotyping wrong, but as somebody who's paying attention to that as a guy, because I'm just seeing it, maybe catching it here and there. Do you see a rift between like discussing mental health? I think that's something that more female comics discuss than males. And when you see it as a professional, do you ever get icked out sometimes? Like, oh God, that's not, this girl's like, sorry, I'm just a little bipolar. I'm like, nobody's a little bipolar. Either you're going to do it or not.
I think he's here. I think it's just more accepted for women to talk about their feelings in general. Like for the most part, most men and comedians will talk about their body parts, or they, will talk about their wife or their, they won't say. Even like when I have them on my show, like they'll talk about things that happened to them, but they won't talk about how they felt about them. So I remember James on the show. I was like, yeah, you told me that, but how do you actually feel about that? And they're like, I don't know. And a lot of guys don't even like sit and think about how they feel. Like if I tell my husband, like, how are you feeling? He's like, I don't know. You know what I mean? So it's like men don't even spend that time thinking about it. But as far as women talking about it, I think it's just who we are. I can't think of any woman that talks about it, like as far as a comedian that makes me feel icked out.
The one girl that we like, and I always forget her name. Her last name Thompson.
Taylor Thompson?
Yes, she's very
little
good.
Cherub baby angel.
Yes, she talks a lot about that because she's gone through a whole lot, but she is actually bipolar, right? Miguel, she talked about that. I think so. I don't know.
I think it's just a phase.
Wow.
Hey.
Okay. All right.
Hey.
Okay.
Hey,
They
you
all
know,
bipolar
hey,
in college, you know.
the real reason I ain't
We're all a
going on
little
your
bipolar.
show, Amy, be real. I don't like to talk about my feelings. So only feeling I do is a cup of Crown Royal and ice, baby.
That's true.
All I'm
That's
feeling.
true.
I
That's
don't feel nothing else, homie. Ken Miller ain't got no feelings, baby.
Hey,
You
no
Ice
have
feelings.
cold
so many
rain.
feelings, Ken. You
Ken
have
Miller
so
ain't
many
got no feelings,
feelings.
dog.
Oh my god.
I don't cry. I
Nope.
barely laugh.
Nope.
I will slap him
Yeah.
if I have to,
Hey.
but that's about it.
You get
Hey.
sassy on your social media sometimes, Ken.
No, I don't. Ken Miller's never sassy. That's jokes.
Every time
I'm gonna tell you what, Amy, you got a lot of mouth on your head. You talking to the goddamn Godfather,
You're right.
and you
I'm never coming back. I know. I'm very
You
sorry. I
better
said
look
I
at
was-
my goddamn approval rating.
yeah,
Yes, right.
80%,
Hey,
girl.
it's 78%
Yeah,
right now.
it's
Let's
Ken.
talk about Rue. We're here for Rue. We're here for Rue. Let's talk about Rue instead of
Not
me.
50-50 like you on the suicide line.
I do
Coin
want to
flip when
talk.
you call Amy.
Let's
I
talk
do-
about Rue.
I do want to talk to Rue. Rue, what made you come up with this particular show that you wrote, Rue's Menagerie? What made you
Yeah, what's
decide
wrong
to do
with you,
animals?
Amy? Tell her what's wrong with her.
She knows. She already
You like
knows.
lemurs? Guess what? Your dad hates you. You know? Look at this Rorschach book. What? This book of pictures of my mom and dad fighting? Odd. Why is every other page a penis? You're sick, Amy.
We do talk about it a lot because I mean most of her show is about people along the way in her life, and then like
Yeah.
well the first one Rue, you did the guy talk about the bird
The cuckoo, the bird of paradise. Basically,
So
I
much
love it.
energy.
I love it.
listen,
I
yeah,
love it.
okay. So basically, it was character night at Bullenbush the first time they ever did it. And I was like, I'll come in as a character. So I came in as like a bird of paradise, which are these like beautiful, colorful birds that have like crazy mating dances. But I made him into like a beginner open micer that like hated women. So it's like, yo,
Oh!
these females be wanting me to dance like this.
No, he's spitting, bird. I feel you. Okay,
Well,
bird.
because
What
they do that
is
mating
this?
dance. If you ever see that bird of paradise, they have a erectile cape that opens up, and then they dance with the erectile cape, and they're going after the ladies, and
A
then
reptile cape?
yes,
I had that. You got to get the honey. You just get the honey, bro. That erectile cape goes away. And first of all, maybe it's because she's not that pretty.
Yeah, blame it on her. Blame it on the girl bird. That's right.
Hey,
Not on
Rue,
those gin and cokes.
Rue, one
Yeah.
more time. Tell people how they can get
Yeah.
tickets and more information
Worked
about
fine when
your
I was
show.
watching bodybuilders.
That's so
You
funny.
go on the Orlando Fringe website and type in Rue's Menagerie for the tickets, and they'll be there. There's gonna be 4
Gotcha.
different dates.
Hey, beautiful. And how can people follow you on your social media?
You can follow me on Instagram. That's where I look the most for my follower count ever. That is the Arusa STFU. UROOSASTFU.
That's Fergalicious.
BANANAS.
Everybody
Hey.
knows that's how you spell bananas in your head whenever you have to
And
spell it.
A in it. That's so funny. And Amy, how can people get more information about what you do, sweetie, on your social media?
You got it. Well, Rue and I have a podcast called Pillow Fort, so that's Pillow Fort Pod. We just did our 2nd season, and we talk about lots
Congrats.
of fun stuff. Thank you. And then you can also follow me at Psych Comedy. Yeah. Amy LeCours, AIMEELECOURS. Mine wasn't
Very,
as
very
fun.
nice.
Mine wasn't as fergalicious. I'm sorry.
Amy, see yourself out.
Real quick before I go, I definitely want to thank our wonderful guests, Roo Nafasat and Amy LeCours. But I want to give you gentlemen a chance to say where you're at this weekend, and you ladies as well, if you're performing. Ken, where you going to be this weekend?
Man, my wife going out of town with her girlfriend.
What?
Man, I'm about to be in here tubing up all weekend.
Tubing it up. There
Oh,
you go.
same pair of draws. Oh, I'm bringing oxtails over.
There you go.
Please do.
Perfect.
I'm coming.
Perfect. Miguel, where you going to be this weekend, brother?
I'm home this weekend, man. No dates this weekend, so I am home, bro.
All right, we got to get a drink then, brother.
There you go. There you go. Amy, are you going to
Yeah,
be somewhere
I'm in it,
performing
I'm
this
in it.
weekend?
This weekend, no, nothing till May 10th. I'll be at Propagate Social House in a podcast, so that's my next date.
Okay.
Oh,
That's
around
me
the
and
corner from
Ken's
my
hood.
house.
And
Yeah.
what about you, Rue?
I am hiding in my office to finish the show that I'm promoting right now.
Damn, you are a Tubi writer.
You are.
New episode
Man.
drops in an hour. We gotta come up with a plot.
I do have to give a very special announcement, guys. This Saturday, I'm going to be attending something really cool, and I'm so proud. On May 3rd, my son Noah will be graduating from UCF.
Yes.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Finally.
Congratulations.
Yes, that boy needs to start kicking up.
He does. He does.
Yeah.
So that's 3 down, 1 more to go. I got 1 more in nursing school, and I'll be done with all my kids in college, man. So
Wow.
shout out
You
to
got
Noah.
you
I
got a
love
kid
you.
in nursing school that's not a stripper? That's amazing.
Hey, it's Isaiah though.
Okay, so he's gonna reverse it. Ladies, put your hands together for Coco Love, bruv. Isaiah comes out. I know what boys like. I know what they want. Just as a cowboy with 2 cat goods.
Oh my God.
Why are you doing this? You got the money. It was never about the money.
Bro, that's it, kid. This one. Thank you guys so much for joining us today on behalf of our special guests, Roo Nafasat and Amy LeCours. And as always, the special cast that we love, and this is us on behalf of myself, James, Ken Miller, and Miguel Colon Jr. Thank you guys for tuning in to Real Last. We will see you tomorrow. Ken, tell them what to do.
Take your ass to bed.
We out.